Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the People's Channel, your rental property manager. This is the channel to subscribe to if you want to learn firsthand my personal experience. Okay, well, hold on. This is not a cliche. This is not one of those channels that is out there reading up stuff, listening to YouTube videos just to spill. This is hands-on. This is my personal experience as a property manager, managing properties for profit. I'm talking about I've seen it, I've tried it all, and I have narrowed it down to a science. Okay, so we together with my team, this is what we do. We have a niche that we specialize in. We're not saying that we're all these, we have a special niche that we specialize in that is inflation proof. And that's exactly what we're going to be burying it all. We are not going to hide anything. Reason being because we benefited from other people's recordings, other people, taking us by the hand. One time, one of the gurus, we paid $12,000 in credit card just to get to those lessons. And guess what? He tried to scam me. He's probably he's here somewhere on YouTube. Tried to scam me with one of the properties that we ended up making lots of money from. So I just want to say to you that this is a no-holds-barred channel. I want to make a commitment to you that we are going to tell you that. We are going to lead you by the hand, and we're going to tell you what things we have done, the science that we have learned that is profitable, inflation-proof profit in rental property management. And hopefully, you're going to get us in your team to help you out. But we're not going to hold back from information. Of course, this is also a business. So, if you want us to help you out, we'll definitely can work some things together. But just want to let you know, we don't play any pranks. We are legit. We don't deal with no fraudsters, no scam artists. We have no time for that. So don't waste our time. If you want to do business with us at some point, we are legit. We don't work with fraudsters. Don't waste our time. We're not going to waste your time. But let's start with a few things that we're going to be going through. We're going to talk about inflation proof, easy money renting out your rooms. Inflation proof, easy money renting out your rooms. Okay, well, you have these rooms sitting out there. For some of us that are the homeowners, you have your rooms in your house. You may have a big house. You are in need of money. Why not rent out your rooms? I'm not talking about Airbnb. Okay, I'm not talking about Airbnb because some of those profits will go to Airbnb. I'm talking about safe ways to rent out your rooms in your house and keep it profitable. Okay, I'm talking about something that we have done and are currently doing. At some point, we're gonna do a video tour of some of the properties we manage at some point, and we're gonna show you some of the science behind our processes, the automation that we have built over the years to make our running of the rental units or the rental properties something that is impeccable. Our tenants have very high reviews concerning in our rental property management, and it's something that is that it's pretty close to 99%. Of course, it's a business, so we run it to make profit. But our niche that we specialize in is renting out by the rooms. It may sound, is that all that there is? Yeah, but there's a whole lot that goes into it to make it profitable. There's a whole lot. But I want to promise you that I will go through step by step the processes that we have in place. Well, of course, we may not go into the details of what kind of product that we're using, because we're always on the cutting edge. But we can tell you what we're presently using. So one thing that we need to talk about, let's highlight a few things that we will be going over. Does your state permit? Does your HOA permit for you to have a room-to-room rental? Most states and cities don't have any ordinance against that. It's totally different when you're dealing with Airbnb, where you are the guests are coming in and out of your house. Well, I'm talking about long-term rentals, month-to-month, 12 months lease, 6 months lease, 6 months lease. We typically do 12 months lease on our rentals. The reason why is a room or a property take a lot of wear and tear, but when you have different tenants moving in and out, especially if you do not predict their behavior. But we typically make sure we do background checks, and we have leases and strong addendums. Immediately we see anything that doesn't look in the up and up, we have addendums for our tenants to sign. And there are some language that experience that we have added to our leases that secures both the homeowner, the property manager, and other tenants. So it's something that we'll look at. Then it's a room-to-room rental for everyone. Maybe not. But if you are in a cash crunch, you need this money to pay the bills, and you have about 2 or 3 rooms or even one room sitting, and you do not have a way to pay your bills, that is money sitting in your room. You're sitting on money that could be earning you a room, or so that can be earning you money. If you have little kids, there are ways to protect yourself. Okay, let's give you a little bit of a history of how we all began this process. Okay, so my son, college age, first 2 kids, graduated college, and this idea wasn't in the horizon. Because the very first time we tried residential real estate, where we did rent to own, which didn't work out very well. I thought we had hit the jackpot the very first property we purchased, and then we invest and manage in Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area. So we said, okay, man, this house had about $50,000 worth of equity in it. So I said, okay, well, this is jackpot. But what we're gonna do so that we don't have to incur a lot of repairs from the tenant, the agreement with the tenants was that they are gonna, since it's rent to own, they own all the maintenance. The house was in impeccable condition. We like to take care of all the houses we manage. So that's why the tenants are constantly giving us very high reviews. So we said, okay, well, we did walk through with the tenant, the rent to own tenant, and they said, yeah, we're ready to go. So the guy and the girlfriend moves in, and keep going. The very first year we had that situation where it showed they were nearing closing to the property, and they fell apart. The whole thing fell apart because they could not. I had tried to work with them, mentoring them on how to keep their credit, to build their credit, and the monthly payment they were making was going towards their purchase and towards the closing. Eventually, that didn't work out, and it was a mess because now we had almost, I believe at the time, about almost $50,000 worth of work that was put in. So we're in debt and kept on paying about $1,200 a month for a long time, for a few years before we were able to pay it off. And that house eventually, the bank took it back, and it was a terrible blow. Okay, fast forward. My son, years went by. My son was to go to college. I would say, wait a minute. The first two kids went to college, and we didn't think about this idea. How about we purchased a property close to the school, to the university that he was going, and we rent out the rooms and let other tenants pay the mortgage. That was how the process started, and we went into it, and the rest is history. So he was living all through the time he went through college, graduated, and we were still cash flowing $300 a month, while others were making the payments. And I said to myself, how wish the parents of these other kids knew they could probably have done the same, So that is the secret of the concept. There are a whole lot more that goes into it. So I will be sharing that. We went from there to the next one and the next one, and it's been a beautiful experience. In the process, we learned and developed systems from how to monitor the tenants, so that we don't have an influx of tenants into the property. We have leases that they understand that there are security cameras outside only, which is for their protection as well as for the protection of the property, and also the kind of door locks that we use to prevent lockouts, because the very first 2 or 3 years we're getting a lot of calls. Property manager, I locked my key in the building. Can you send someone out here at midnight to come let me in? So we came up with systems. For example, the kind of lock. So every room door lock has a digital lock as well as a key. So if they forget their keys, they can use their digital code to go in, and they're responsible for making sure the battery doesn't run out. And also the front doors have codes only, and then we have a lock box installed in a particular area of the house, outside the house, that has codes, as well as a backup key. And the app that we use to monitor all the front and exit doors tells us the battery level. So these are a little bit of a tidbit of some of the things, the systems that we have in place that we are willing to share with you, and for you to know that if you make a decision to say, I would like you guys to be my property manager, that you're in good hands. There's experience talking. At the same time, we'll also give you the information if you're a DIY kind of guy and you want to take it a notch and say, well, truly I have this stuff in my house. I would like to get in the process. Be sure to subscribe and listen, because we are going to be laying down and laying out nuggets. I'm talking about nuggets, not fluff, nuggets that are effective, nuggets that we have used, nuggets that work for us today, nuggets that are useful, not fluff. Believe me, it works for us, and we know that. It's a gem, it's a gem because we've replicated it many places and it works. Even our tenants do self-checking. We're not running all over the place, because of the processes we have in place, and yet they are all very happy. The turnaround when we have a tenant complaint is fast. Our tenants even start making payments before the end of the month because of the systems we have in place. It's amazing. Just want to keep this video as short as possible, but be sure to know that we will be talking about Things like that you need to be aware of, like, do you include furniture or no furnishing when you want to rent out your rooms? What do you do to protect your family if you have kids? I'll tell you what we did. Concerning my, where my son lived, and also my daughter. What we did when in their homes. How you do with parking, with again with the security, the background checks. We don't pay for background checks. The tenant pays for the background check, but that's part of the system that we'll discuss. Security cameras, how you power them. If you're in an area where there is, like we use majority solar powered cameras, and we have an app. We don't even pay for storage because of the systems we have in place. So we'll talk about that and many other things. I don't intend to make this video very long since it's the very first video. If you have any question, be free to make a comment, ask your questions, for we definitely will be responding to questions, and we will get to it. We're going to be dropping content every week, so be sure to listen in, to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any content. Next time we'll be getting into the specifics, and again, if you have any question, be free to hit us up. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next video. Thank you.